Okay, do you all remember the guy who made the toaster exposing document? The one that I completely fell for? At this point, these aren't even allegations. These are straight up like, it's right here and this is what he did. Yeah, that was, that was pretty bad. But the person behind that document, we think, or we basically know, is a person named FlippoVR. And I mean, person is kind of generous here, because he is at like the max age of 11, I'd say. But for a long time, he has been sending, saying, and doing horrible things to like lots of RegTubers over the course of many months, and just recently has it gotten really bad. And some of you may be asking, if this has been going on for so long, why didn't you make a video on it sooner? And the answer to that is, I didn't want to give him any attention. It's as simple as that. Because obviously this kid is very young and all they crave is attention every day, all day. So if I were to make a video on him, with this like name in it, like saying, oh my gosh, FlippoVR is a bad guy, I'd be giving him exactly what he wanted. And then he'd just continue. So about 3 months ago, I did make a video on him, but in a very discreet way. I tried my best to not say his name, and just say what he did, but that was pretty hard to do because his ad for the account that he messaged me on about all the toaster exposing stuff was called Flippo Forever. So I just kind of said, okay, here's who did it, was FlippoVR, just some random kid. But my god, dude, after this, he would not stop messaging me, like, ever. And it was really, really strange because he kept, like, apologizing to me. So on 9/18, so like right after the video was published, or about a week and a half after, so not right after. Anyways, he wrote this apology. It just said, I'd like to sincerely apologize for my previous actions and words that were racist and hurtful. And he said that he recognized that his behavior was hurtful and damaging, and that he takes full responsibility. And it was a really nice message, but I didn't respond just because if I did, that would keep him engaged, and he would be thinking that like, oh, Foglo is seeing these messages, so let me say what I want. So that's why I didn't respond. And then the day after he said that, September 19th, he said that he would pay me to clear his name, to say that everything is fake. And obviously I wouldn't do that because none of it, oh my god, that was a bad voice crack. But obviously none of it is fake. He did all of it, so I didn't respond again. And then 6 days later, he wrote the most heinous message like ever. And every time I read this, I like do it in like a villain voice. In my head, I'm just like, listen up, Frigger. I will not stop. Attention and no attention. I will keep going until I get what I want. Java VR to quit. And if that doesn't happen, then I guess we'll keep going. I will eventually dox you and everyone that you're related to. All your server members. All the RegTubers that you've interacted with. It will be your fault. I can just see him behind the keyboard typing like that. It's actually hilarious, bro. But obviously here he's bluffing. Even I knew that because he never doxed me. Because he can't. And so then over a month later, he says, hi, how's your day? And then a week after that, he says, hey, I like your profile picture. And at the time, it was my own cover of Chromacopia. Only on the Foglo LOL channel, those who know. And to answer this question, yes, I am. Next year. So that was pretty nice. And then a few days passed, you know. Hey man, frick you. Just out of the blue, bro. I didn't even do anything. And so at this point, I obviously assumed that the apologies that he sent were probably satire, and he just wanted me to respond to it. And then after this, it went mainstream. So at first on November 11th, he pulled the classic blank as a Nazi. And I already knew what this was about. He definitely thinks Ranix is German, and so he just throws it out there. But Ranix is Russian, and obviously he is not a Nazi. And so about 3 weeks after he said this, Ranix messaged me saying, I've been targeted for a while by this FlippoVR kid. Bro was creating false proof and has been calling me a Nazi for no reason. The only thing I can imagine is that this kid is racist, calling me Nazi because I live in Germany, but as I said before, he's not even German. But this kid has also been harassing many other RegTubers, especially the big ones. And before Ranix sent this message, I hadn't even seen the document yet, but luckily Flippo sent me it. Yippee-ki-yay. And so I looked at it, and the document is really bad. Literally the first piece of evidence that he has is him talking to a supposed 12-year-old girl. The messages are from August 2022, and this man didn't even have a Discord server yet. It's actually wild how fake this is. And if this was real, it would make no sense because none of the evidence is from this year. It's all from 2022 or 2023. If you want to see the fake doc, I'll put it in the description. But sadly, still some people believe this document. But now on to the last part of the video. Some of you may know what I'm talking about here, but there's been this person who is spamming these types of messages all over every RegTuber server, but we don't know exactly who it is. Most of the RegTubers believe that it is Flippo, but that could be wrong because a person named LethalMassVR messaged one of the many alt accounts that this person has and asked, why do you hate Toaster? And then the alt account said, just want to torment him, money emoji. And so then Lethal was like, why, for money? And then the alt said he's paying well. So this could be Flippo hiring somebody like to just go across every single server and just spread bad things, but we do not know yet. And so with that sums up the infamous legend of Flippo VR. He seems like a very mentally challenged child, and so I do hope he gets the help he needs, because in the most respectful way, it seems like he really needs it. But to all of you and Flippo, I wish you all a happy holiday and Merry Christmas. Thank you to everyone for supporting my channel over this past year. It has been really fun making content for all of you, and I appreciate all of you for watching it. When I started out, I didn't think people would enjoy this type of content, but quite literally thousands of you care, which means the world to me. So thank you everyone. Merry Christmas to all, and to all, a good night.